I was in South East London, Lewisham, and I met legendary boxing trainer Ronnie Davis, and I was quick to get his attention. I wanted to speak about Chris Eubank Jr. And my God, did he let us on foul language against Eubank Jr. He mentioned every foul language in the book. Yeah, he was not holding back. I mean, not holding back. This man let every, not repeatable language, right, on my channel or anybody's channel, realistically speaking. Yeah, not a decent channel. Did he let a foul-mouthed, foul-worded, torrid rant on Chris Eubank Jr.? Yes, he did. He held nothing back. And it was when he lost to Liam Smith. I said to Ronnie, I said, I did not think that Liam could knock Chris over. I said that George Groves couldn't hurt him with his power. I said, I thought he could knock him over. And did the elbow play in effect? He said, so what if it did? It's the fight game. And he said, this F and this C and this F and this C. And he went on and on and on. And he was just going, he never trained a day. He never trained a day. He'll never be involved with him again. Useless, lazy, this, see, that, bang, 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 bang. He just said it as it was. He said he never trained a day.
I think he done the weight wrong last time. He made a big mistake on that.
Bank Jr. still had his physique. You had to put a naked eye, yeah. His toned skin, right, you wouldn't see by the naked eye, but inside he knew he never trained. And what he did say, when he looked down the press line on fight 2, he looked down, he said, because he also said to me, he said, Liam Smith's a very good fighter. You do not take liberties with a fighter as good as Liam Smith. In fight 2, he looked down the line, and he said in the press conference, he leaned over like this and he went, Liam, you're a very good fighter. The very words he uttered to me, which we know Liam Smith's a good fighter. He said, but you won't be winning this one, which meant Eubank Jr. had trained for fight 2 at 11 stone 6 pounds. Look what he done. Different man, right? Now, where I'm coming through with his story, that was funny that he let out a torrid range at Eubank Jr. I'm sure he's had that because he's been in his camp since day 1. But where I'm coming from with his story is Eubank Jr. will beat Ben. He could almost beat him with one hand, almost, maybe a little bit exaggerated, but he will win that fight, no doubt. And where I'm coming through with this from this is he beat Smith at 11-6 when he trained. Yeah, he's now got a 10-pound hydration clause, which makes him up to 12 stone 2 in a night. Yeah, it's going to be some 28 hours before weigh-in to fight. He probably, when he's cutting for super middle, he's probably last sparring session around 12-2 with world-class opposition. So why has Ben got no chance? He's fought as little as light welterweight. He's gone up to welterweight, and we all know he's failed a drug test. So he's pushed himself up to welterweight. We knew he started not hitting that hard, and then he started hitting really hard. And what we know, since he's been suspended from drugs, he hasn't hit very hard. So providing, there's only 2 things. And by the way, I've been in touch with Ronnie Davis via a friend, not personally, via a friend who used to train, a good friend of mine. And Ronnie Davis said, Eubank, he's bang on key, looking as sharp as a razor, bang on. Back to Ben, what we do know on Ben is 1,000,000% fact, he hasn't carried the power against, I think his name was Dobson, Peter Dobson, maybe his last fight, and Orozco from Mexico. Good records, but weren't fighting high level opponents, yeah, and could not finish them. So we can only assume he's not taking the same performance enhancing drugs. Let's forget about the eggs, let's forget about all the process. He failed the test, point blank proven, yeah, and he's not carried the same power. His physique doesn't quite look the same, so he's more of a welterweight, lighter welterweight. Now Eubank is a middleweight, at least 2 weights above the fighting middleweight, we know that, but Ben's got to come up 2 weights. And Eubank's got to come down 1, but on the night he's allowed to be 12 stone 2, which will be very similar to his final sparring session when he has to make 12 stone. It will not be a problem. He's trained hard. You see what he did against Smith. Different man altogether. Smith had his own excuses and whatnot, but Ronnie made the excuses. I think he was gambling heavy. Ronnie didn't make excuses, he'd give us the facts. He said he did not hardly train a day. You cannot take liberties with Liam Smith. On this occasion, he's been speaking to my mate. He said he's tuned up, he's fine. Obviously, I prefer to fight at 12 stone. He said instead of 11-6, you know, weigh in. But that was his only issue. You can make a case that Eubank's 28 against 35. But Eubank not having had an hard career as an amateur, age 35, it's not, in a modern athlete, it's not young, but it's not hugely doable, you know, as a fairly big man. It's going up towards the light heavyweight, super middleweight division. Smaller guys, it's a lot older, but he's up towards the bigger categories. This is in the last sort of 3 tiers of the fight division, 3-4 weight. So he comes under the medium to big guy. 35's not huge, He's only ever had that one blemish on the career when he did not train a day against Liam Smith. When I say blemish, getting hurt. I think he's a much better fighter than Ben. He's a much bigger man. He's a more experienced. He's fought higher level. I truly, truly would not encourage you guys to go out and wager on this, because gambling is a bit of a sin and it's a bit of a problem. But if you want to flutter, I really, really, if you do gamble and I can't stop you and you're already putting your money down, will I stand accountable? No, but I've already put my money on Eubank. Do I fancy him for this fight? Massively, massively. You know, I can't see where there's any judging's going to come into it. I just think it'll be one fight and out and done. Could the judges get a bit messy if it's close and go even? Potentially, because we all know what these doubles and trilogy fights are now. Mass amounts of money. But I just think this is a pride fight. They wouldn't have got it if it weren't for their fathers. But I think deep down they're fighting for family and their fathers and themselves. They're proud men. He means it. Ronnie said he's training. We know he's training. He hasn't failed. That's one box tick. He hasn't failed for that stuff that he felt. Liam Smith didn't train gambling. He means it. It'll be 12 stone 2 on the night. Too big, too strong for Ben. Hasn't got his juice. How can he possibly beat him? In my opinion, very, very little chance. Some chance, but very little. Where am I giving Ben a chance from? Don't know. Staged, fixed fight's the only chance I give him, to be honest. Do not give him a chance. My opinion. Let me know what you think in the meantime.